warm welcome. In today's video, we're going to cover 18-year-old Ollie Bearman and what a drive and what a performance at the weekend. And surely now that has put his name out there. There was a lot of pressure. Obviously, Carlos Sainz had to have surgery with his appendicitis. Bearman came in short notice, did a phenomenal job. He literally had one practice, getting used to the steering wheel, the buttons, everything, the engineers. I mean, we know how difficult it is for viewers, let alone drivers, to get on board with what Ferrari is saying over the radio. So he did a great job. He jumps into qualifying. He only just missed out on Q3. Ironically, nearly knocked the driver out that's signed for the team next year. And yeah, in the race, he did a really good job. Finished 7th. Finished ahead of Norris and Lewis. So it was a really good, couldn't have really gone any better for Ollie Bearman. It's a tough track, physically quite tough. He was struggling to get out the car at the end. But yeah, no mistakes, and he did a great job. And that is only a positive. Ironically, now he has to go back and focus on his F2 season. To get a 2025 seat, he's put his name out there. He's done everything, but he really needs to be in the top 3 of the F2 standings. But yeah, I'm quite worried. Even if he wins F2, say, I'm quite worried that he actually won't get promoted. We see many GP2 F2 champions get promoted, the likes of Rosberg, Hamilton, Hulkenberg, for example. But recently, they're not getting promoted. Drogovic has won the title, and he's still not in Formula 1. Teo Pourchaire won the title, still not in Formula 1. So who's going to win it this year? Is it going to be Antonelli, Bearman, whoever you want? Are they going to get promoted? Look at Liam Lawson. Came in for Daniel Ricciardo, did a sterling job, and still not on the grid in 2024. So there's a worry that these younger drivers are not getting promoted. And you've got older drivers taking up seats. The likes of Ricciardo, Magnussen, Stroll, Joe, Bottas, Sargent. I mean, there's like 5 seats already, and there's probably more. Bottas, Joe, Magnussen, Stroll, Ricciardo, Sargent. There's 6 seats there, and they could be filled. You're looking at Pourchaire, should have been in at Sauber. Ollie could go to Haas. Lawson, Racing Bulls. Drogovic could go at Williams or somewhere. Antonelli, possibly Mercedes. But Ollie Bearman, he did everything he needed. It was impressive. And Ollie Bearman made the Saudi weekend. The Saudi weekend was boring. It was only, you were glued to the screen to see how Bearman did. It was exciting to see the pressure. It's still only 18. And a lot of people will now be following Ollie Bearman in Formula 2 to see how he does. But like I say, he could win the title and still not get in Formula 1 because young drivers at the minute are not getting promoted to Formula 1. We've seen a lot of youngsters come through, the likes of George, Norris, Max. But at the minute, there's a stalemate. The last 2 F2 champions have not been promoted. And F2 is pointless if you're not going to promote the youngsters, the champions. So, let's see how Ollie does in his F2 campaign. He qualified on pole for the F2 race, and then he had to come in and do his Ferrari race. So, yeah. But he was calm, he was composed, he did a really good race, good clean moves. Honestly, it was a stellar weekend, really. I gave him 10 in driver ratings. I thought he was brilliant. He's only had an hour in the car and then straight into qualifying around Saudi Arabia. It's impressive. Very impressive. The likes of Max, Charles and Lewis, very impressed with Ollie. The main place I can see him going, I could see him replacing Kevin Magnussen at Haas. I think that's an option. And maybe replace Logan Sargent at Williams, maybe an option. But yeah, there's no reason why Ollie Bearman should not be on the grid. He was sensational at Saudi Arabia, but like, I forget who said this, but he made a good point. One of my subscribers. De Vries came in for one race at Williams, scored points, and then he was dog shit at AlphaTauri. He got dropped. The same happened with Lawson. Came in for Ricardo, did really well. Basically, still on the sidelines this year. So, Ollie, how's he going to do when he gets a full-time seat? If he gets a full-time seat. Yeah, comment down below your thoughts. Do you think Ollie will be on the grid in 2025? His F2 campaign is important. He's got to try and win it, put a statement down, beat Antonelli, and then, yeah, he should be on the grid. Whether that's at Haas, Williams, we wait and see. Comment down below your thoughts. My subscriber knows this guy very well. Grew up with him, so if anyone's to talk about him, it would be him. Yeah, interested to see what the future holds. Adios.